love, y'all, because we're together. United, baby. Under one roof. Come on. In a house of sounds.
Hello, everyone. I want to welcome you to Constructive Talks segment called Snippets. All right, well, I have an old friend on the phone. Not an old friend, per se, but a friend. We've been friends for quite a while. And he goes by the name of Big Easy. Wonderful man, gentleman, excellent person to have in my life. He is definitely an inspiration of hard work, dedication. You know, Big Easy came up where he had to do it for himself. He had to survive, make decisions that made him what he is today. And I would say he did a very good job doing that. Mr. Easy, how about you introducing yourself to the folks?
Hey, good morning, Mr. Wright. Like you said, my name is Big Easy. I'm originally from Wilmington, North Carolina. At the present time, I reside in Beaufort, Georgia. I'm a business owner and a retired soldier.
Big Easy was talking about self-education that he learned during preschool years. And that's something that he's taken with him throughout his life, which is amazing and it's wonderful.
But I wasn't afraid to step out there, one, and fail, because that's the thing about self-education. You can't be afraid to fail, because when you doing self-education versus going to a college or a technical school, that's what tests are for. Tests are to gauge your level of success. When you self-educate, your level of success is gauged on your failures. So when you self-educate, the number one key success in self-education is you can't be afraid of failure, because every time you fail, you look at where you failed. So you can't be afraid of that failure. You're just gonna have to take that failure, put it in your book of failures and say, okay, we know if I go left, this is what's gonna happen. So tomorrow we'll go right. So tomorrow you get up and you try it again, you go right. If that failed, then you say, okay, the next time I won't have to go straight, or I won't have to go backwards, or whatever. But that's how self-education is gauged. So that's how self-education is such a great tool. But if you fear failure, you probably need to stick to formal education.
Yeah, and you know, I totally agree with you. And one thing, as we talk about self-education and being afraid to fail, it's a thing to where I think a person has to tap into determination, commitment. It's not to anybody around them, it's to themselves. To be determined to succeed, and kind of like the gears you were talking about, they're going to get scraped up. They're going to get scraped up, but each time that you get to that point, it gets a little easier to get to the next gear. By not being afraid to fail means you really don't care what people around you think about you or the path that you're taking. It's one of those self-determination things to fail 100 times. Why? Because you have a goal. You know, fail 100 times. Why? Because you're determined to succeed and get to that next level. Looking fear in the face and not being afraid of it while you're trying to accomplish your goals should be one of the beacons that you focus on to achieve. Look fear in the face and say, hey, fear, you got me today, but I'm coming back tomorrow. You got me the next day, and I'm coming back the next day. So I totally agree with that. It's amazing how this conversation transitioned from preschool, right? The marching in the 60s. As we get ready to transition to his elementary school years, what Big E is going to do, we're going to take a break, and then part 2, we'll transition to elementary school. So I want everybody to have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you again very soon. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for being amazing. That is very important. As we end this podcast today, I want to let each one of you know that not only are you incredible, but it's about you that constructive conversations happen.